Well, Trump indicted again, this time in Fulton County, Georgia. Guess they couldn't find those 11,000 votes? What does this make now? Indictment number 4? Hell, at this point, we should just indict everybody. Indict your dog, for God's sake. They should indict Trump for parking his plane the wrong way on the tarmac at the Jahubi Airport in Jahabistan. Now, it took the grand jury 10 hours to deliberate for all this testimony. They were expected to go through today, Tuesday. But I guess they just had to act as fast as they could because they've got to get Trump. And these charges were brought about by DA Fani Willis. And did you see this presser with Fani Willis? You want to talk about a diversity hire? Now, just before this presser, did you catch this? Oh, and I've got something good for you. This is so juicy. Your astute host here saw this. A news clip from 11 Alive or Alive 11. You know, they like to give these TV stations these clever names. They're looking out for you. So they were trying to move or adjust this banner behind Willis. Had her name plastered all over it. What was that about? Now, this indictment also names 18 co-defendants, including Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Kenneth Chesebro, all the usual characters. Who else is on the list here? John Eastman. Now, these charges include false statement, solicitation of violation of oath of a public official, conspiracy, impersonating a public official, and forgery in the first degree. Forgery of what? We don't know, but it's forgery in the first degree. And you go back and you look at all these indictments, they're very repetitive. Seems to be the same indictment recycled over and over again. Now, here's the kicker. According to 11 Alive, Live 11, you had protesters outside the courthouse, not for Trump. Remember earlier in the year, pardon me, let me take a sip of my coffee, try to clear my throat here. Oh, that's better. But remember earlier in the year, when you had these protesters down in Georgia that were protesting this cop city? Well, hell, guess who was outside the courthouse in Fulton County yesterday? These same protesters from earlier in the year. And there's an article at Fox, I believe it's Fox 5, goes back to June, where they were filing a lawsuit to have this referendum, or lawsuit over this referendum, to have the voters decide on this cop city, this Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. So that's who the protesters were yesterday. And they were getting in the faces of these deputies or what have you. These people are on the march, man. They're on the march. So I don't know if you caught that or not. Thought I'd share that with you. Found that very interesting. What else do we have on my list here of items with this indictment? We could try to get them on RICO statutes. Is that how you say statute? Yeah. RICO statutes. But they want to get Trump on. How are you going to prove all this? Because you have to prove intent. Now, picture this, right? It's a stormy night. Here's Trump and Sidney Powell and John Eastman and Kenneth Chesebro and Rudy Giuliani, and they're in a back room somewhere smoking cigars. Well, Trump doesn't smoke or drink. But there's cigar smoke, dimly lit. And they're giving each other secret codes, doing secret handshakes, having this cabal to overturn the 2020 election. You've got to prove this. How are you going to prove this? So that's the latest, pardon me again, latest in the Trump indictment. 41 counts, by the way. 41 counts with this indictment. What else do I have in my notes here? No, I just thought it was interesting that you have these same protesters that were involved in these... Boy, I can't talk today. I can't get the frog out of my throat. These same protesters who were involved in these protests earlier in the year over this cop city. They were also protesting, remember, in Boston or Boston Commons. What were they doing there? I thought this was all about Trump. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can also follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Or you can go to Twitter, what is now X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed 1 on X. This is a Culture Confederacy saying peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. And you know how we do it here. This is where the past crashes with the present. I'll catch you next time, and you all have a great Tuesday.